to the firm conference, and that was awesome. I got to meet a lot of people I've watched on YouTube over the years. Um, got to meet Rod Meldrum. That was pretty cool. I've been looking forward to that. I had talked with him over the phone for like over an hour a few weeks ago, but it was good to go and finally meet all these people. Um, Gosh, that it's so weird when you meet people you've seen on YouTube and only on YouTube, like Troy from the Last Dispensation. Saw him and saw some of you there too, Byro Kinsman, and I can't remember everybody else's names, but I saw some of you at the firm conference, which was really nice. Um, so I thought I'd do it live real quick. I'd go over a couple things. Um, right now, I'm actually I've gathered a bunch of stalks of these and bundles and put them out in front of our yard for our Halloween decorations. We don't really have skulls and skeletons, but we have pumpkins and we have corn, dried corn. So we're decorating with that. Also, I did get a projector to project, well, pretty much anything I put up on it, but it does have some pirates, some skeleton pirates. I know a lot of people frown against all that, but I think it's just a little fun thing like Pirates of the Caribbean. Plus, I am going to want to do, I'm not sure if I'll do just a regular video or make it a live stream and go over. Devin says, thanks, Johnny. Always love your information. Thanks. I will be going over the history of Halloween and going through traditions of mask wearing and how that even has its origins in ancient temple rites and rituals, even in ancient Egypt and down into old European countries. And it's going to be fun. So we're going to go over the Halloween traditions and what Latter-day Saints can take out of it, and a tradition I started doing myself with soul cakes. So if you haven't seen that already, I did a video last year, and I did it like midnight of Halloween last year. I just typed it out because my voice was gone, and I was dead tired, and I just put some images and posted it last year. So it's called Halloween live Halloween special with the Haystack. Nonchalant Big Bags. I can't believe they're still together after all that crap. Yeah, the all together. I don't know what that's in reference to. Australia? No. Idaho. Um, Also excited. I've been growing some saffron. Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. Not hard to grow, very easy to grow. It's just time consuming. And it's the 3 stigmas per flower that come out, so it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of it to be worthwhile. So, do you guys have Halloween traditions? Because mine is soul cakes, and that's a funny story. You want to look at the early traditions of a lot of work for little produce. Yeah, that's right. For the saffron. That's why we don't do it commercially, just for us. And it duplicates, the bulbs duplicate, and they come back every year. It's a very easy spice to have on hand and grow yourself. Soul cakes. Soul cakes are these round little biscuits, cookies, and has like nutmeg, saffron flavor, very like cinnamony, whatever you want to put in there that's along those lines. And they usually put dried fruit like apples or raisins. And I like to dust it with powdered sugar. And it's usually crossed, given a cross on the top. and has very ancient Christian roots that it's supposed to represent the cross. The way I've been using it is looking at it as the gathering of from the four quarters of earth and heaven for the gathering of Israel. And when the veil is thinnest during All Hallows Eve, instead of ghosts, what we can do is go do uh, proxy ordinances for our dead in the temple, which I think there is a huge ancient Christian connection there, which we'll get into for my Halloween special for this year. So, not sure what day I'm going to release it, probably this weekend. Because last year when I released on Halloween, like nobody saw the Halloween video. Um, so I think it's because everybody was already busy doing activities. So I'm going to collect some apples. I'm going to put out some more bushels of this corn outside, and have a decent decoration. Reese Battle says, "Hey buddy, are you a Republican?" Yes. Well, I worked in the Republican GOP. I was a regional director for Idaho Young Republicans, but they've kind of lost their way. We exposed how people who don't believe in the platform actually want to alter it to a leftist platform, funneled in hundreds of thousands of dollars to purchase local committee people all throughout the state, in every county, to then run their campaign for them, basically just pay to play, and then have these people who have leftist ideologies go and vote for the people who paid for them, which are globalist, leftist mindset people who really are ambitious. Also known as modern day Getty and robbers. Yes, exactly what it is. Yep. They attacked Latter-day Saints 2 years. So there's a guy working on a paper 2 years ago that was supposed to target Latter-day Saints, and it was the Biden administration that asked him to write the dissertation. And he didn't realize, well, he realized he was doing harm to the church and many members of the church, but he didn't care because it made him feel important. It wasn't until I told him that he'd also be committing tax fraud that he actually pulled back and stopped what he was doing. Otherwise, 2 years ago, we would have had a January 6th style push towards Latter-day Saints with who supported Trump. Jason P. Perkins. I'm a member of the church from upstate New York. Man, that's awesome. So up where Moroni buried those plates, are you a 1 Kimura guy, 2 Kimura guy? Saw Jonathan Neville speak on 1 Kimura. He has an acronym for it. I can't remember it offhand. MTC. It's more Mormon 2 Kimura. I don't know. He kind of makes fun of the 2 Kimura theory. But that's gorgeous up there. I've never been up there. My wife served her mission up there in Pennsylvania area. Do you guys have Halloween traditions through a Latter-day Saint or a Christian point of view? Ways that you guys celebrate it? Harvest time, bonfires, celebrations, parties, things like that. Chili cook-offs. I grew up in California, and we had a member in our ward who worked on movies like The Rocketeer and Chili. Devin says Chili. Jason says Lake Placid. Chili. This is what we used to do. We had chili cook-offs every fall. Halloween party when I was a kid growing up. And this is right when they started asking us not to wear masks. But we also decorated the church like a haunted house. I remember because I still have nightmares from it. I have nightmares about being ushered into the cultural hall to be executed by beheading. And uh, now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, I'm surprised they did that at the church. Because we would crawl through these box tunnels with Christmas lights. And in the primary room, they'd have some teenagers with a chainsaw go, "Rrr, rrr." And the guy who did movies, he had his Batmobile in the parking lot, and he'd set up a really cool thing. We had an overflow hallway where he had, it was completely dark, two lights and a motor, and had audio that go, "Rrr, rrr, rrr." And he'd drive it towards the people walking through, and then the lights would go out, and you just hear a big crash right before it gets near to you. And so that's a clever way to scare people. Um, Inspiration, music, and light. We just had the ward trunk or treat here with chili cook-off. It is often the busiest activity and has the most inactive members attend. When I was a ward mission leader, suggested a chili cook-off because I thought that was just what every ward did every year, chili cook-off and a trunk or treat. We did that, and they stopped doing that. I don't know why. My mom says, "Sorry, I think this is my mom. So sorry, I hated Halloween." Uh, yeah. By the way, growing up, got scared to death when I saw my brothers dressed up all dead, and I didn't even realize it was Halloween. And just get told that they got hit by a car, which was very believable because it was the same way they told me that our dogs died, is getting hit by a car. So I'm like, "Oh, really? No, let's go." It's the same brother who told me he could walk on water, bet me money on it. And then he goes into the shower, sprays water on the bathtub, and says, "See, I'm walking on water." Uh, but yeah, we stopped having our uh, church buildings decorated like haunted houses. By the time I was in high school, I'd actually cut class and go help set up for a fall festival, but not quite a haunted house. I remember I brought my inactive, or not inactive, but a non-member friend who was a vegetarian, and we're having a chili cook-off and hot dogs. And he looked around and is like, "You guys have anything without meat?" So I go and ask one of the members. I said, "Do we have any meat free?" He's like, "Oh, if you don't like meat, you don't belong here." My, my non-member friend looks at me and says, "Oh, that's all I need to hear." And he walks away. I'm like, "Great, great, great. Thanks a lot." Thanks a lot. Then I served a mission in Utah and Idaho, and that kind of behavior and mentality became pretty common. Inspiration, music, and light. Easter, for example, I make the primary focus on an empty Easter egg, which I have told my kids symbolizes the empty tomb. My wife does the same thing. It's a very good activity. Um, we have a couple activities that are similar to that. One catered to the kids, and we did this like a almost like a secret Santa kind of thing, but with Easter eggs for some of the members in the ward, where we hid eggs in their yard and give them a little note to follow. And each egg had inspirational message. Some would say, "Be careful because there's like a little thing of thorns in there for the crown for Christ," and one with a nail. Also, "Be careful." um, we put candy in there too. The last one. My wife also does this wonderful um, presentation where you kind of like you're blindfolded, but it's like a sensory type thing, and you hold the heavy nails in your hands, and you're told the story of, of the crucifixion and the resurrection. What's up? A grabber, we have one. Oh, I got one right here. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, though. So we've done that in the past. Jason, our old branch president, son, hung himself at the church and died. At the church? Gosh. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, that'll give you some real nightmares. Not to mention, see, going through the primary room and seeing a chainsaw and seeing people cut in half. Glad they don't do that anymore. Um, I know recently we had a Welsh Day festival at our church building, and I went to go check it out. Um, it was interactive, has lots of people from the community come. It's a Welsh festival, it's a cultural festival, except they're using the sacrament room, right? And they're using the chapel. And they didn't start anything with a prayer. They had a guy dressed up as a knight, which I thought was pretty cool. But then I saw the sacramental table uh, that usually has ordinances done on it, decorated with all kinds of red dragons. Kind of opposite there, right? Kind of going the opposite direction with this. And then they had this uh, Latin quote about how, not a Latin quote, but uh, a quote about how if something like if you don't believe in dragons, then you're eaten from the inside out, something like that. And they talked about dragons as if they're real. And I'm like, first off, this is blasphemous. And then they're putting red dragons, the symbol of Satan, on the sacramental table, which is where the symbol of Christ is. And I know it's a cultural thing, but this is set apart strictly for ordinances, and it's, to me, it was inappropriate. It was completely just wrong to me. Inspiration, music, and light. Haha, that's out of place. That is a holy room and holy table. Exactly. So I made mention it to the Welsh festival people and saying, hey, we do have a cultural room, a culture hall for cultural things. Maybe we could do that there next time. It would make sense to me. Um, and maybe start with a prayer. Then again, these people, I have no idea what they believe. It certainly isn't what we believe. But I felt it inappropriate that they used to. I mean, the building used to be a tabernacle. Are we just downgrading the building over and over, just to help people feel included? Where does that lead? Anyways, I gotta make some tortellini for the kids, and got enough bushels outside for right now. Got some pumpkins outside. Finish off decorating tomorrow, and then what's a good time to do a video? Should I do a live stream or just pre-record it and post it and go over the history of Halloween? What are your thoughts on that? My mom, I think this is my mom, says you're right. Inspiration, music, and light. Culture is one thing, and proper place, cultural hall, yes. The chapel and on the sacrament table where a symbol of the Lord's body lays uh, every Sabbath is not appropriate. I thought so. I mentioned it to my Elders Quorum president, who then carried it up, which has been what I've done in the past. Take things through the chain of command. Hey, it is mom. She made taco soup. Inspiration, music, and light. Yeah, I would like to see you post something on your thoughts and feelings. Okay. We'll get ready for that. It will probably come out this weekend. Um, not too many people saw it on Halloween last year, and I think Halloween was a Friday. Halloween this year's on a Thursday, so I'm not sure because what happens is if you post a video and then post something after that, it kind of gets shuffled in and doesn't get viewed. But if it's on the history of Halloween with a LDS perspective, my perspective specifically, and it goes back to Adam, to ancient times, to the great apostasy, to today. But until then, go ahead and watch last year's Halloween special, and that should I'll put it in the description here, so it's easy to find. Or you could just go into the playlist and look back 1 year, and you'll see it there. But thanks. You guys have a great day, and I'll look forward to talking to you more this weekend. Thank you.